your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams. And then
Community is connections. We're committed to ensuring people stay connected to the services they need. That's why we're participating in the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Program. Go to allofiber.com/ACP to learn more.
It's time for high school sports on your home of the Dogs, KOOQ FM 98.1 and AM 1410. Today's game brought to you in part by Sandhills State Bank, member FDIC. Dave's Place on East 4th and North Platte, CT Troubleshooters, The Shelter Insurance Boys, Premier Toyota, and Another Round Sports Bar and Grill at River's Edge Golf Course. Today's game also brought to you in part by Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy and Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment, Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Lincoln, Nissan, the D&N Event Center, Larry's RV, Mid-Plains Community College, and Larry's Glass. And watch today's game live via your smart device or smart TV, brought to you by Allo Fiber. Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome in, everybody, here to a beautiful home opening day between North Platte High School and, well, Sydney and the Red Raiders in the first home game of the season for North Platte and the Bulldogs, currently sitting 2-1 on the year after having a successful trip down to Lincoln and Omaha for a tournament where they again went 2-1. They took down Westview 2-0 in the first game, but fell to Lincoln Northwest in game number 2, 2-0. But did beat Buena Vista in game number 3, 2-0. They'll face Ogallala today, as well as Sydney and the Red Raiders. So Bulldogs and Red Raiders getting it underway here to start this action and between these two teams. So it's going to be a fun evening. Of course, Sydney and the Red Raiders coming into today 1-1 on the year. They defeated Yuma 3-2 in their 5 sets, but fell to Sterling 3-2 in the other 2 sets. Here, Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. These two teams facing off in what should be some spectacular action. Bulldogs, it's kind of been a shot in the dark, as one might say. A little bit of trying to figure out, who's going to be playing. I want to say who's playing where, or how's this team going to react on day number 1 of this comp. Well, I'd say day number 1, but to the early start of this season, of course, North Platte coming with a lot of question marks of, new head coach, still a relatively young roster that's going to be playing around this new coach. So there's a lot of questions of how will they perform and what would the expectations be like for the first part of this season. Of course, we know the expectations, pretty light. We're not really expecting too much, as head coach Shelly Byrne and I said when we were sitting down having our discussion. They weren't really putting the weight of the world on them in the first week or so, but so far, coming out 2-1 with, sweeps in every single game, but then getting swept in their own was not perfect. But it really has been good between these two teams, this team here, specifically North Platte, to get these victories to start the season, because that not only just builds all the confidence in the world, and I think that's what this young squad needs is confidence, 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 confidence. If they're able to build that confidence, this young team might start rolling along very, very well. We'll step aside and take a break here. Quick Stop pre-game show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. Of course, we'll step aside and we come back. More of the Quick Stop pre-game show here on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, video live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com, sponsored by Allo Communications.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings. The Sinclair Dino Pay saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Quick Stop.
Your health is nothing to fool with. That's why when supplies are important, you should trust no one but the best. Great Plains Home Care Equipment features full home care outfits. All of the items you or your loved one will need for rehabilitation, including oxygen and respiratory equipment, whether it's for staying at home or for moving around. Great Plains Home Care Equipment, 600 East Francis Street, Suite 6 in North Platte.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Mary is trying the new Philly-style Runza sandwich.
Rocky was set in Philadelphia.
Wonder if he ever had a Philly-style Runza sandwich.
Yo, Adrian, I love these green peppers, onions, steak, and Swiss.
We should go do boxing later.
You haven't seen Rocky, have you?
Not at all. Been too busy eating the new Philly-style Runza sandwich. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln for your next vehicle. Look online 24/7 at BillSummers.com. Bill Summers is Western Nebraska's leasing headquarters, and they have aggressive financing to get you into the vehicle you've been dreaming of. Check out all the inventory at BillSummers.com anytime. Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Nissan, Lincoln, where families are our business. Highway 83 and Walker Road in North Platte, and online 24/7 at BillSummers.com.
I'm Jared Remus with Jerry Remus Chevrolet of North Platte. The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM, KOOQ AM, North Platte. We've got the keys to your new car.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Welcome back here to the Quick Stop pregame show. Again, 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. North Platte taking on Sydney here in game number 1 of this triangular. Sydney 1-1 for the Red Raiders. North Platte 2-1 on this early season. First home game of the year for North Platte High School. It's going to be quite a fun endeavor for these two teams. As we all know, North Platte, again, we talked about a lot of question marks of who's going to be playing what, when, and where, or how they're going to be playing. How's this team going to react to the early season potential struggles? But so far haven't had those issues because they've been off to a rocket start, 2-1, which I think is the best you could really ask for. And then on the side of Sydney, it's the complete opposite, a well-seasoned squad with lots of seniors and juniors on the program that are just getting some good game action in. And because of that, they're more of a solidified group, so this might be a real test and challenge for North Platte High School here in today's game. Of course, we'll get into our Double Dips Ice Creamery starting a lineup. Double Dips Ice Creamery in historic Canteen District in North Platte offers 24 plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. Double Dips also offers homemade waffle cones and bowls alongside homemade fudge and freshly baked desserts. Plus, they have also available the ice cream trailer for all your outdoor events. Start on the side of Sydney and the Red Raiders. Carson Leeling is going to begin the start here today. 5'11 senior with Peyton Schroepberger. She is a 5'7 senior. Ashlyn Weinbender, 5'5 junior, gets the start with Chloe Ahrens, the 5'9 senior, with Kayla Westby, 5'7 junior. Kiara Schrader, the 5'10 sophomore, getting the start today. The lone sophomore on this starting squad for Sydney. And then Deanna Horst, the 5'9 junior, as well, getting the start for the side of Sydney and the Red Raiders. On the side of North Platte High School, we'll get to that in a second as we get to the national anthems. With that, I'll step aside and take a break and come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth, or professional athlete, the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team has you covered. The team includes orthopedic surgeons, athletic trainers, and other healthcare specialists who spend their time at local high school and college sporting events, ensuring that athletes stay as injury-free as possible. In the event of an injury, the team remains committed to returning athletes to competition as quickly and safely as possible.
Contact the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team by calling 308-568-7456.
Puro Clean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. Puro Clean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give Puro Clean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at Puro Clean in North Platte.
Hey, looking to start a new career? Larry's Glass in North Platte may just have the position for you, as they have an opening for a glazer. What does this glass glazer do? Installs glass in commercial and residential areas, and you'll be installing windows, doors, showers, mirrors, and so much more dealing with glass. If you've been or had carpenter experience in the past, this position may be just the fit for you. And even if you haven't and you have a certain skill set, Larry's Glass will train. Stop into Larry's Glass on West 5th Street today to apply.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Dog House. Bulldogs' first game of the season. Again, Double Dip Ice Creamery starting lineup. On the side of North Platte High School, Lexi Lantis gets to start alongside J.C. Burke. Callie McLean on the bench. Avi Kamensky, the junior, with Trinity back, Corey McLean and Izzy Belgum also getting the start today for the side of North Platte High School, as we're about to get our little first game underway between these two teams to start off the triangular. North Platte taking on Sydney. You're in competition today, leading off with the serve will for you the side of Peyton Schroepberger for the side of the Red Raiders and Sydney. Bulldogs 2-1 on the year. Sydney and the Red Raiders 1-1. As here we go, we're underway as Schroepberger gets the ball over across. Good little set. Have to attack it on the side as going to get it on over is Lexi Lantis, and now the Red Raiders will set up and they'll score the first points. That's going to be Chloe Ahrens picking up the first points for Sydney here following the nice attack on the far side. Another one from Schroepberger going to go over the line. Now North Platte will set up to the near side here with McLean, and it falls in. Corey McLean gets to start. McLean, the I would say lone sophomore with Lexi Lantis, Callie O'Brien, and Lexi Lantis. We're now tied 1 apiece. North Platte's up to serve now with Trinity Vack back and ready to rock and roll. Vack gets all the way across, and now here comes the side of the Red Raiders. Set up on the far near side. Tip forward. That one from the side of Schrader. But the Bulldogs attack. Nice tip, but Red Raiders are there to say it on the far side. Ahrens flies it back, but the Bulldogs set up Vack. Now sets it to the side, and a great attack from Lexi Lantis, and it falls in. Another North Platte point. It's 2-1 in the favor of the Bulldogs here. Early on, Trinity Vack now up for her second serve. As Vack lets it fly. Again, lead the team in aces last year as a soft tip forward. Good save by Lantis. McLean sets it, and Lantis just roll spikes it on over, and couldn't get there in time. As that one is picked up on the side. J.C. Burke couldn't hold on to it, so we're tied 2 apiece now in this game between these two teams. As now back to serve for the side of the Red Raiders, it's going to be Kara Schrader. Schrader lets it fly into the backside and going to come up now. Roll spiking on over. No good. That one maybe on the side of Abby Kamensky. Back it goes once again, and now here comes the Red Raiders attack with Ahrens. And it's going to fly in for a point, leading the way of Sydney. So currently sitting here in this first game, 3-2 in set number 1 in favor of Sydney and the Red Raiders. As that one flies to the back line, set up by Kamensky. Vack, and now having to get it on over is Lexi Lantis, and now here comes North Platte the other way. And it's going to fly out of bounds. So with that, we're going to have a setup on the side once again of North Platte. Tied 3 apiece here in set number 1. Now, flies awkwardly off of the arm there of Kayla Westby. As Westby now allowing the point to go the way in North Platte. It's back 4-3 here. As now comes the nice point on the side of North Platte, following a 2-hit violation from Sydney. So now it's 5-3 in favor of the Bulldogs here. It's now flying across with Atlantis in the back line. Here comes a setup from the Red Raiders to the far side with it. Now comes Leeling, but good block up front by, I believe that was Lexi Lantis. Actually, no, it was Abby Kamensky. The setup now to the near side attack from Burke, and a great save by the side of North Platte High School. And now they'll have the attack from, once again, J.C. Burke. Into the back line. Awkward hit off of the back leg there of Chloe Ahrens. No good, and with that now, it's 6-3 in favor of North Platte High School, as yet again another serve coming in from Lexi Lantis. Gets it on across. Now the Red Raiders really in an awkward position, have to get it on over with Leeling. And the Bulldogs will set up. Vack to the backside, a roll spike from Abby Kamensky, and now here comes the other side with it. The attack up front, another great save. It bounced off of J.C. Burke's arm and then off of her back. And unfortunately, that point will go the way of Sydney. It's 6-4 now in favor still of North Platte High School. Now the other way with it. Here comes the Bulldogs. Berg with a light tap, and it will fall in favor of North Platte as they're able to secure that point. A light tip up front on the side of Kiara Schrader. She couldn't fully get it over the line, and with that, Bulldogs now up 7-4. But immediately give a point back as trying to get it up front. Abby Kamensky unfortunately couldn't hold on, and with that, it's 7-5 in favor of the Bulldogs, though, here early on in this set number 1 against the Red Raiders. Well, Sydney. And that one flies right up the back for another North Platte point, 8-5. As Abbott Kamensky now comes up to serve for the Bulldogs here early on, leading 8-5. Back it all the way goes, and now here comes the setup. From the attack from Leeling into the back line, but great Kamensky save. Now, roll spike from Burke in the backside. It'll get picked up and a fly back over. Oh, Burke tried to tip it from the front on a very powerful hit in the back from Kiara Schrader. Burke on the front tried to tap it back down quickly, but fortunately didn't go their way, and with that, it's an 8-6 lead for the Bulldogs here in set number 1 with Leeling up to serve in the backside. Carson Leeling, the 5'11 senior. Nice light serve. Oh, good save on the side up front from Callie McClain, but it just falls too short, and no Bulldog was in the vicinity to help her out. So it just falls to the earth, and with that, it's now an 8-7 lead for the Bulldogs, but that serve goes right into the net from Carson Leeling, and now we'll have some substitutions for North Platte as Lexi Lantis checks back in, as well as Kaylee O'Brien. As O'Brien will now be the one serving for the Bulldogs. Off goes Callie McClain, as well as J.C. Burke and Kaylee McClain. Oh, excuse me. There goes all the way to the back. Oh, great serve from O'Brien. Leeling received it nicely, but a roll spike on the side to Sydney. Oh, my good heaven, just barely falls in. A little bit of lax defense from the Bulldogs. Grace Ryland was in the vicinity, but it just barely snuck into the near side corner. And because of that, the point will fall to Sydney. It's 9-8 now as another serve coming in on the side there of Westby. Bulldogs will have to get it on over with Addison Ewing. Set to the near side attack. Oh, and it falls off of O'Brien's arm. Not in the right position, and she had to throw her arm up. It bounces off. We're tied 9 apiece here. Good attack from Jana Horst for Sydney. As we're tied 9-9 here in set number 1 between these two teams. Back to serve once again. Kayla Westby for the side of Sydney and the Red Raiders. Westby, strong serve. Gets all the way back to Ryland. Good save from O'Brien, and then just having to get it on over. Going to be the side of Izzy Belgum. Set to the near side attack, tipped up, and Grace Ryland couldn't get there in time. Peyton Schrottberger was there with the just light tap, and Grace Ryland from the back line tried to get there in time to save it, but couldn't do so. So the first lead of this ball game for the Red Raiders at 10-9 in set 1. Westby, another serve, flies out the back. Good awareness from Grace Ryland in the back line to not attack it that time. So we're once again tied 10-10 as checking in comes Corey McClain up front with Addison Ewing as well as Lexi Lantis, and back to serve Izzy Belgum. Good save picked up by Westby. Set to the middle attack and a block up front by Corey McClain, and now the Bulldogs will have a chance, and oh, they're going to say somebody ran into the net from North Platte. I believe it was McClain. And because of that, the point will go the way of Sydney, 11-10. Oh, great defense up front from North Platte. 11-10 is where we sit. Schrottberger with the serve gets to the backside. Good save by Kamensky and backline attack from Corey McClain. Now, Red Raiders set up to an attack from Aarons, and Ryland now sets it. Here we go. North Platte, near side attack. Lantis has it blocked up front. Good defense on the side of Schrader, and now here comes the Bulldog attack. Not really that effective, so another one, and what a great save by Grace Ryland, and the Bulldogs will get it on over, but it flies out the back. Great back and forth between these two teams. It's 12-10 in favor of Sydney here in this set number 1 as Schrottberger again with another great serve. Tipped. Oh, easy putback from Kiara Schrader, and it's 13-10 now in favor of the Bulldogs. Excuse me, in favor of the Red Raiders, and a timeout has to be taken on the side of head coach Shelly Byrne. With that, we'll also take a timeout right here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Thanks for listening to the Quick Stop Pregame Show. They have 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop, Game time is just moments away on FM 98.1.
It's not too late to dust off the golf clubs and head out to River's Edge Golf Club in North Platte. Summer may be coming to an end, but come out to River's Edge and you'll enjoy a course that features modern amenities with beautifully maintained lush greens and breathtaking views. After your golf game, swing into another round for some amazing food and drinks. Remember, they're open to the public. Good times, great food, drinks, and sports. Another Round Sports Bar at River's Edge Golf Course. Come have another round with them.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great school year. Fall can mean weather changes and canceled practices. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Watch Facebook for CYS League information to get your 3rd through 6th grader registered for football, volleyball, basketball, and wrestling for the 2023-2024 season. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse. Bulldogs at the moment trailing after their point they got a second ago, 13-11 with the Red Raider attack coming on the way. Just getting over to the side of Schrader. And great backline attack from Abby Kamensky that is well defended by the Red Raiders. They just have to hit it on over. Now here comes North Platte the other way with it. As the attack blocked up front, Grace Ryland with another good save. Back-to-back saves from Grace Ryland, and Lexi Lantis just has to get it on over. Now the Red Raiders will attack. A little push after a awkward setup. That one from Kiara Schrader. Now North Platte with the offensive. Lantis blocked up front, and they're going to say 4 touches on the side of North Platte, and with that point going the way of Sydney, it's 14-11. Our timeout's brought to you in part by Kevin McCann in the Fortify Group. You can check out Kevin McCann in the Fortify Group. His new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Now, great tack from saving from Grace Ryland. And another great backline save from the Bulldogs. O'Brien, but up top, Kamensky couldn't tip it. 15-11 now in favor of the Red Raiders. Head coach Shelly Byrne looking to make some adjustments on the sideline. Again, our sponsors for today's game as well. Another round / River's Edge Golf Course after your golf game. Swing into another round for some amazing food and drinks. As time's going to be called right now as Jimmy is talking to one of the sideline officials. As Chu is being tied on the side by Callie O'Brien. And here comes the serve from Kiara Schrader. Back it goes, and it bounces right off of Abby Kamensky's arm. She had her feet set not properly, because of that easily bounces off, and it's 16-11 now in favor of the Red Raiders in set number 1. Schrader once more looking to fire away for the Red Raiders, gets back to O'Brien. Vac with the set to the far side. Lantis lets it fly and finds it. Beautifully done by Lexi Lantis. Back corner, nobody was home for the side of the Red Raiders. A point for North Platte, and here they come the other way with Lexi Lantis up to serve, and checking back in J.C. Burke for North Platte. 4-point lead for the Red Raiders here in set number 1 as Lantis fires it back. Good pickup on the side by Westby. To the near side attack. Good block up front. Aarons with the attack, but good block by the Bulldogs. Just getting it over is going to be the side of Callie. Of Abby Kamensky. Oh, Lantis. McLean, and then a roll spot coming in for Burke. Another good block up front. Oh! Say 4 hits on the side of North Platte. It didn't get over the top netting, and because of that, 4 hits, and that's a point towards the side of the Red Raiders, 17-12. Back it goes all the way. Ooh, picked up on the side by, I believe that was Callie McLean. Oh, tip, spike up front, and oh, there is another great save by Trinity Vac, but they're going to say it was a lift. Actually, 4 hits, they're going to motion to it. 4 hits again from North Platte. Now it's 18-12 in favor of the Red Raiders here in set number 1 between these two teams, the North Platte Triangular. Burke set by Vac2 now. J.C. Burke blocked right up front, and Grace Ryland will have it set up to the far side attack from Abby Kamensky, and it bounces off of Ryland's 2 hands as she was too far forward trying to defend. Another point towards the Red Raiders, 19-12. Here in this set number 1, Sydney recently started to gain control and pull away after a strong Bulldog start, as that's going to fly right out the back. 19-13 Bulldog advantage. These two teams, pretty much off to the same start, except North Platte has one more game in the book, but in terms of total sets plays are about the same. As to the back line, it goes Schrader. Now to the attack from Leeling, is going to bounce off the front of the netting. And with that, the Bulldogs will pick up the point. 19-14 favor of North Platte, of Red Raiders and Sydney. In this first game between these two in the triangular. Backside attack it goes. The set from Schrottberg. Backline attack has to come through from Chloe Ahrens, and it's going to fly out that back on the roll spike. Another point towards North Platte. 19-15 now. They're slowly but steadily making their way back into this game, and that's kind of how the early season has gone for the Bulldogs. If they ever have gotten down, they've slowly worked their way back into games. The attack up front on the side of Westby, but no good now. A backline attack for J.C. Burke, and it just flies out the back. 20-15, 5-point advantage is now up to serve. Comes Deanna Horst for the side of Sydney and the Red Raiders, leading by 5, 20-15. Horst lets it fly. Good receiving the backside by Burke. Tipped out, but there's Trinity back to save it. Oh! Izzy Belgum was not there to save it. It was really close to the netting, and Belgum had to make sure she didn't run into the netting, and because of that, missed opportunity, missed point. Now a timeout has to be taken by head coach Shelley Byrne. With that, we'll also take a timeout here in FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming sponsored by Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Cashway Direct has everything you need for your Husker party, tailgating, or any get-together. Steaks, burgers, prime ribs, seafood, wings, ribs, pork chops, brats, brisket, pork loins, and more.
Score big!
With the best prices in town.
It's a win-win! Huddle up!
And save time and money at Cashway Direct. No account needed, no penalty flags. 502 East Front Street, North Platte, with new store hours to better serve North Platte and the surrounding communities. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturdays, 9 to 1.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Dog House. It's now 22-15 in favor of Sydney and the Red Raiders in set number 1 of the North Platte Triangular. Our timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McCann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann, the Fortify Group. His new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. A great tack from Westby is going to fly, though, out of the back and out of bounds. Bulldogs pick up the point, 22-16. Also, thank you to our sponsors today, Dave's Place Pizza and Wings. You'll find out more, 1510 East 4th Street. As up to serve for the side of North Platte, Abby Kamensky, trailing 22-16. Back it goes. Schrader. Westby with the light tip up front, and good save from J.C. Burke. Offensively, Belgum pushes it back, and now the Red Raiders set up, Leeling tried to just have to tap it over. She wasn't in position to properly hit it, and there was an ocean-sized hole in the middle of the defense. And with that, a point towards the Red Raiders. It'll go the other way, 23-16, with up to serve Carson Leeling for Sydney. Almost got the ace, but another good save from Euling, and then tipping it on over Izzy Belcom. Now a setup. Westby trying to run into one, but too far forward, and now the Bulldogs will set up. Euling off-centered, and it'll find its way in. It was tipped up front by Kiara Schrader, and then just falls in for a Bulldog point. 23-17 now is where we sit. With North Platte up to serve, Kaylee O'Brien serving for the side of North Platte, trailing at 23-17. Great serve, gets back to Leeling. The setup in the middle, attack from Westby. Oh, it just finds the soft part in the Bulldog defense on this near side corner. Great accuracy from the side of Kayla Westby, and she'll be up to serve with Match point on the hand for the Red Raiders here in set number 1. Back it goes as Kamensky saves it, and now just having to get it on over Addison Ewing. She can't do so, and that is how set number 1 will unfortunately come to an end for North Platte. They were off to a good start, but couldn't really secure the middle part of this set as Sydney Stormanley took the advantage and never looked back. They pick up the set 1 victory, 25-17. When we, of course, come back here, FM 98.1 and 1410 and video live streaming NorthPlattePost.com, we will have set number 2 here. Again, FM 98.1 and 1410 video live streaming NorthPlattePost.com.
Whole lot of things being so expensive these days, you'll be surprised to know you can buy an RV for under $20,000. The Sunray Travel Trailers at Larry's RV in North Platte. Sunrays give you the opportunity to enjoy the outdoors while still enjoying some home comforts like AC, water, heater, refrigerator, and stovetops. Just some of the features you'll find in a Sunray. Plus, Sunrays are lightweight and most can even be pulled with a car. Stop in today and see the Sunray 129 and 149 models and the Sunray Light 16 HB at Larry's RV in North Platte.
It's football and volleyball season, and it's time to enjoy it while eating the best pizza and wings at Dave's Place.
Dave's Place is your fall sports headquarters with the biggest games on the TVs, the freshest pizza, and all new drink specials, including, you guessed it, the Whoop Whoop
Dave's Place on East 4th Street in North Platte.
Dine in, carry out, DoorDash, or online at davesplacenp.com. Beginning September 10th, Dave's Place will open Sundays at 11 o'clock.
Whoop, whoop. Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Hey, looking to start a new career? Larry's Glass in North Platte may just have the position for you as they have an opening for a glazer. What does this glass glazer do? Installs glass in commercial and residential areas, and you'll be installing windows, doors, showers, mirrors, and so much more dealing with glass. If you've been or had carpenter experience in the past, this position may be just the fit for you. And even if you haven't and you have a certain skill set, Larry's Glass will train. Stop into Larry's Glass on West 5th Street today to apply.
North Platte Post Sports.
Going back here to the Doghouse, Bulldogs trailing now in 1 set as we now go here. 1-0 is the set lead in favor of Sydney and the Red Raiders. Our timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. We check out Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. His new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. Also, thank you to our sponsors for today, Sandhill State Bank, the most committed brand in banking, with locations in North Platte, Ogallala, Grant, and many more. Head to sandhillstate.com for a full list of services and locations. The setup to the inside attack from Schrader. No good. The Bulldogs pick up the early 1 point here following the great serve in the back line from Trinity Vac to lead it off for North Platte. Again, just like in set number 1, the Bulldogs got off to a great start. Though unfortunately couldn't hold on to that lead, falling 25-17 as now the Red Raiders have to surprisingly get one attack over, and Bulldogs tried reactionary defense, and it cost them as Burke had to fly for one, and it knocks it out of bounds. So it's now tied 1 apiece with up to serve Peyton Schrottberger for Sydney and the Red Raiders. Back it goes. Ryland sets it now over to Burke, and Kamensky has to fire it away, but not too much gusto behind that attack. Is on the backside. Good block up front, though, by Corey McLean, and then it's going to just barely fall out. McLean, as well as Kamensky, noticing it was going to drift out of bounds. They pull back, and with that, 2-1, the advantage for North Platte High School. As now, Lexi Lances with a serve, and the Schrottberger couldn't get there in time. Westby had to fly from a different position to go and try and recover it, and hits the front of the net, and Schrottberger couldn't save it. Now 3-1 in favor of North Platte here in this set number 2 action. Lexi Lances up to serve once again, her second here. One of the lone sophomores here on the lineup for today. Schrottberger to the force attack from Aaron's, no good, and now here comes North Platte with the attack. Tip up from Burke, but nice block up front, but Bulldogs will have to reset it. Kamensky Just spikes it on over, and now here we go for Sydney on the near side. Oh! Good attack from Schrader, able to squeeze it in between two North Platte players. And because of that, point leading the way to Sydney. It's 3-2 now with back to serve being Kiara Schrader. Again, one set lead already here for the Red Raiders in this game number one between North Platte and Sydney. Grace Ryland able to set it, and now here we go. In the back, Burke. Oh, good block up front from Horst and Schrader. Blocks it in front as J.C. Burke tried to recover defensively and get there, couldn't do so, and with that, it's 3-3 here. And this set number two tied up. Another serve coming in from Schrader. Back it goes, and Vac tips it, and then, trying to get it on over. They're going to say a net, it's going to fall the way of Sydney. And they're going to say, though, a net violation from the Red Raiders. Well, they were going to say, the head judge said there was a net violation, but they're going to say it was actually North Platte that caused it with that 4-3, but that does serve. Will go right into the net, even though there's a little bit of confusion. Doesn't matter as that serve from Schrader right into the net line, and now it's tied 4 apiece. Subbing in now for North Platte. Kiala Williams is in as great serve from the side of Corey McLean as Leeling. Has it tipped off the front of Williams. And it flies into where a North Platte player was unfortunately not in the vicinity. And another point the way of Sydney. It's 5-4 in favor of the Red Raiders here. As back to serve, going to be Chloe Ahrens, and it's off the front of the net. So 5-5. That's where I have it, but the judge says 6-5. So we sit here once again for another serve on the side of Abby Kamensky. Back it goes, and now the setup from the Red Raiders. As points fall on the way, North Platte once again 7-5 in their favor. With another serve coming in the back from Abby Kamensky. The setup from Sydney. Tipping it from Leeling, and they'll say she ran right into the netting, and because of that, point will go the way of North Platte High School. So this lead starting to slowly but steadily eke in favor of the Bulldogs. Now here we go. Other way with it. Block up front from Williams. The Bulldogs really tightening it up on defense in this second set. And with that, the lead is now 9-5 in favor of North Platte High School as another serve just out the back from Abby Kamensky. So it's 9-6 now. In favor of the Bulldogs here. And North Platte triangular. These two teams battling it out. 4th game of the season for the Bulldogs, 3rd for the Red Raiders. Attack from Williams on the inside, no good. And now with that, here comes the Red Raiders with a surprise tip. Bulldogs able to read it as Leeling sets it up. As that was Callie McLean trying to receive a ball, and it flew into Red Raiders territory. And with that, Carson Leeling from the middle just laid one into it. But I'm going to say there's a net violation, and because of that, it's 10-6 in favor of the Bulldogs with O'Brien up to serve. Gets one to the backside now. Here come the Red Raiders. Leeling once again tapping it in. That's just the experience from the senior. Saw 2 North Platte players jumping and just tipped it right over the outreaching hands, and it'll fall in for a point. 10-7 as checking in comes Ryan Dilche, and here comes Leeling up to serve. Gets it all the way back to Lantis. The set to Williams on the far side. Dilch is able to save it, and now Westby just roll spikes it over, and now here comes the Bulldogs. A middle attack from Williams. Westby again with a good save, but she hits it a little too hard from her position in front of the netting, and it flies out into Bulldog territory out of bounds. They'll get the point. 11-7. This set looking much better for North Platte compared to set number 1. They're the ones that have been in charge and full control of this game. Excuse me, set number 2. Great save from Westby, but in the end, didn't matter. Another point towards North Platte. The ace, Gala Williams. With that, here we go with it. 12-7. Another serve from Williams. Bulldogs pulling away from this one. Looking much more zoned in set number 2. Dilche to attack up front from Schrottberger, and it's going to bounce off, I believe, of Addison Euling's hands. And with that point going to go the way of Sydney. 4-point advantage, 12-8 for North Platte here in set number 2. Set number 1 went to Sydney, 25-17, as Westby with the serve. Back it goes to O'Brien. The set from Kamensky, and just having to get it on over Corey McLean. And now here comes the Red Raiders. Surprise tip, but there's Grace Ryland to save it on the defensive side as Lexi Lantis tried to find something. No good. Tip up front, battle for it, and won by the Bulldogs. And now here comes the set, and the light tap once again going the way of Sydney. The light taps have been all in the favor of the Red Raiders, as Schrottberger again saw 2 North Platte defenders jumping and was just able to barely tip it in for a point, and now it's 12-9. The set, middle attack from Lantis really set it up, and it's going to fall in for a Bulldog point. Lexi Lantis with the muscle, forcing one into the middle of the defense from the Red Raiders. And with the way she hit it, there's no way that wasn't going to become a point, and it's 13-9 in favor of the Bulldogs with Trinity back to serve. Lealing receives the set to the Schrottberger spike. Oh, and she finds it just in front of O'Brien. Back and forth action here on the doghouse. It's 13-10 Bulldog advantages. Checking in now comes Deanna Horst for the side of the Red Raiders. So back to serve Schrottberger. Lets it fly. Oh, Kamensky. Oh, great save, though, up front from Trinity Vac. And the Red Raiders have to tip it on over. And now North Platte will set it up as Corey McCain just roll spikes it over. And now Sydney with the attack. Near side, Schrader. Oh, good save from O'Brien in the back. Another good lucky hit, actually, from Lantis to get it over and still stay in territory. And now another attempt for the Bulldogs. McLean, Corey McLean forces it through the hands of 2 Red Raider defenders. And now it's 14-10 in favor of North Platte, as O'Brien looks to sub out. And now up here to come in is J.C. Burke. 14-10 North Platte with the lead in set number 2, looking much more dialed in after giving up a 25-17 set 1 lead. And that spike, serve on the side of Lexi Lantis flies out of bounds, 14-11. So the lead's been around 3-4 points for the last couple of possessions. No team really able to pull away from each other to too far a degree in this second set. As up to serve, Kiara Schrader. Ryland, roll spike, oh! Roll spike on the front from Carson Lealing. Having to reactionarily block it, Callie McLean, and because of that, it flies out of bounds with no Bulldog in the vicinity. 2-point lead, 14-12 now for North Platte, as another serve from Schrader on the way. Again, Bulldogs fell set number 1, 25-17. Back it goes to Ryland. Set from Vac. Corey McLean. Oh, able to get it in once again, bouncing it off of the arm. I believe that was off of Lealing, and because of that, the point falling in favor of the Bulldogs with Corey McLean now up to serve. 15-12 is the lead. Nice one to the backline to Westby. Schrottberger with the set to the Lealing punch, and it'll find its way in as Callie McLean there on the defensive stop, knocks it into the grandstand. And with that, 15-13 in favor still of North Platte with up to serving Chloe Ahrens. Set number 1 again went the way of the Red Raiders. Vac with the near-time attack to Williams, tries to win the tip battle, and Red Raiders will have the opportunity. They'll just barely tap it over, in North Platte now with the attack is Burke, awkwardly able to hit it, and it will fall in for a Bulldog point. Wasn't the cleanest of attacks for North Platte, but J.C. Burke's able to sneak one in for a point, and with that, 16-13 the lead now for North Platte here in this set number 2 between Sydney 1-0 the lead for the Red Raiders. As that serve from, that was Abby Kamensky. It was Abby Kamensky just rattling off the top of the net. No good, and 16-14. As up to serve now comes Deanna Horst to the side of Sydney. She'll look to fire away for the first time this set. Number 2, it just barely gets on over. Ryland! Lucky there as she went for the diving save and it flew back over onto the other side, but Schrottberger couldn't reel it in and find the perfect angle to hit it with that. It flies into the netting. It's a Bulldog point, 17-14. Kaylee O'Brien now up to serve. Back with it. Oh, just flies out the back. 17-15. That's where we're at for North Platte. As up to serve comes Carson Leeling. Lets it go. Ryland sets it. Kamensky to Williams on the backside. She just has to tap it over. And, oh, it's going to be a point towards the Red Raiders as you're going to say Williams hit the netting. There's a little bit of a collision between either side at the netting, but they're going to say it's in favor of Sydney. So it should be 17-16 is the score right now. As the officials are changing it up, I'm going to say it's, correction, 17-16 in favor of Sydney now. It's Leeling now sets and attacks. A light serve as there's Grace Ryland to save it. To the set. Lexi Lantis with the attack blocked up front, and now here comes the Red Raiders. Leeling backline attack, rolls it over. Not too much power. Here comes the Bulldog attack on the other side. Another good block up front by Schrottberger. And here comes Leeling again from the backside. Oh, it just barely finds the mark. Far corner, far back corner. Nobody there to save it, and with that, it's now 18-16 in favor of the Red Raiders. They've now come out to their largest lead here in set number 2, 18-16. Light spike, O'Brien gets it. Kamensky, Ewing with the middle attack, yes! Oh, what a great save! Coming in from Aarons, getting her hand underneath it. Now the Bulldogs will reset it to Lantis on the near side. She stuffs it up front, but here comes another Red Raider attack. They just have to rolling low it over. Good save from O'Brien. Williams up front blocked. And now here comes the Bulldogs yet again. Far side, Ewing will try it. No good, and now here comes the Red Raiders. Westby just flies it over. Now North Platte with an opportunity to convert. Tip up from Williams. No good. Another light attack from the side of Red Raiders. Nobody really getting some clean looks here. Lantis tips it. Oh, it just barely will fall out of play. And I mean just barely from Lexi Lantis. Either side not really got clean looks in that go-about, but it still fell away of Sydney 19-16, but Leeling fires one into the netting. It's 19-17 now. Still in favor of the Red Raiders with Williams up to serve. Thank you to our sponsors for today. CT Computer Services, your IT guy since 2005. Williams with a nice serve. Here comes the Red Raiders attack to the far side. Schrader. Oh, good defense from O'Brien right where it needed to be. Lantis rolls it in, and they're going to say, oh, it's going to bounce off 4 hits from North Platte. They're going to say it hit the front of the netting and truly officially didn't get over, and because of that, it's now 20-17 in favor of the Red Raiders with up to serve once again Kayla Westby. Flying it back, O'Brien. Now Kamensky. How about Corey McLean stuffed up front by Schrottberger. McLean now pushed over by Ewing. Red Raiders attack to the near side. Schrottberger. Oh, gonna bounce off the netting in front. The Bulldogs were there defensively but didn't need it as it just bounced off the netting. Bulldog point 2018 with Trinity Vack up to serve. Again, Vack led the team last year with 48 aces, and anytime she really got onto a rhythm serving-wise, the Bulldogs looked good. Leeling receives in the back line. The set, another attack from Leeling. She just has to push it on over. Wasn't a clean attack, and now North Platte will go. Not a clean attack on their side either as Corey McLean gets it over. Set, far side attack from Aarons. Good block up front by McLean, and now the set to Lexi Lantis. She hits it right into the netting. 21-18. That's where we sit right now. We'll have a substitution. Jana Horst going to check in for Ryan Dilce. And with that, again, 21-18 the lead for Sydney. With up to serve being Schrottberger. She flies it right out the back. Too much power behind that serve. Now North Platte with another opportunity is up to check in now comes J.C. Burke. And Lexi Lantis is back to serve for North Platte. 21-19. As Lantis now will fire away for her serve. Gets back to Leeling. Schrottberger with the set, and now they come up attack from Horst. Oh my good heavens. A fight between both Vac as well as Ryland trying to get to the ball, and Vac was able to get there in time, but pushes it far out of bounds, and another point towards Sydney. 22-19 with now serving Kiara Schrader for the Red Raiders. Schrader lets it go out the back. Point towards North Platte still between that 3-2 margin between these two teams. That's what it's been all set as Williams checks in now for the Bulldogs. It's 22-20, favor of the Red Raiders. They won set number 1, 25-17. Schrottberger set, far side. Leeling tries to tap it in and just barely does so once again. Two Bulldogs jumped up defensively, and Leeling, the senior, was able to find the soft spot defensively and pick up the point 23-20. Back to serve once again, Schrader for the Red Raiders. Good diving save from Lantis. The set, Williams, near side attack, lightly taps it, Leeling with the save, and the Red Raiders just now have to get it on over. That allows North Platte to maybe set something up. Vac, here comes Burke's attack, and just barely flies out the back. And now we're on match point here between these two teams, 24-20. Favor of the Red Raiders. As up to serve comes the side of Chloe Ahrens. 24-20. Ahrens fires away. Good save up front by McLean, and now just getting on over is Williams. Set from Schrottberger to Leeling. She pushes it. Great save by Grace Ryland. Also great save from McLean, and Williams just gets it on over. Great defensive possession there from North Platte. They'll have to defend, though, as attack from West Big. Blocked up front by Williams, as well as J.C. Burke. And it falls between them, and with that, the set 2 victory for the Red Raiders. And with that, North Platte falls in the first 2 games here of the North Platte Triangular. 25-20. They fell in set number 1, 25-17, but fall in set number 2, 25-20. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will have our quick stop post-game show right here at FM 98.1 AM 1410. And of course, video live streaming sponsored by Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com.
Hey, at Premier Toyota, you'll find a friendly and easy-to-work with staff that'll help you find the perfect car. And whether you're looking for something new or pre-owned, Premier Toyota's got a wide selection of vehicles to choose from.
Plus, Premier Toyota has Toyota-trained technicians, so you know you're always getting the very best in service and repairs. Schedule your service and factory-scheduled maintenance today and keep your car running strong.
Stop by today and see why Premier Toyota is the #1 choice for car buyers. Let's go places.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great school year. Fall can mean weather changes and canceled practices. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Watch Facebook for CYS League information to get your 3rd through 6th grader registered for football, volleyball, basketball, and wrestling for the 2023-2024 season. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information. The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great school year. Fall can mean weather. Your health is nothing to fool with. That's why when supplies are important, you should trust no one but the best. Great Plains Home Care Equipment features full home care outfits. All of the items you or your loved one will need for rehabilitation, including oxygen and respiratory equipment, whether it's for staying at home or for moving around. Great Plains Home Care Equipment, 600 East Francis Street, Suite 6 in North Platte.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Going back here to the doghouse, Bulldogs fall in 2 sets to Sydney and the Red Raiders 25-17 in set number 1 and 25-20 in set number 2. Very competitive opening game here for North Platte, the North Platte Triangular. Set number 1 kind of looked like a little bit of a team that got off to a slow start. I would say a slow start, but kind of let it slip away in that first set. The Bulldogs looked really good in set number 1. They were able to take a nice, healthy advantage over the side of, Red Raiders and Sydney, and it was looking like they might cruise and keep this lead, but one small mistake after another on the defensive side led to the Red Raiders to get out to a 2-point lead, and then from that point on, the lead just kept stacking. The mistakes started to stack up as well, and because of that, Bulldogs fell in set number 1, 25-17, but in set number 2 looked much cleaner, even though they still fell 25-20 in that set number 2. It looked much better overall. The team got off to another great, small lead. Again, it really stayed 3 to 4 points that entire set between both North Platte and Sydney. The Dogs had the early advantage, looking good defensively, making better plays, better communications, and better everything overall. But in the end, yet again, Sydney went on a run that North Platte was just unable to stop, and because of that, North Platte couldn't come back, and they fall in set number 2, 25-20 here in game number 1. Again, game number 1 of this triangular. They'll have about an hour or 45 to an hour break between these two games. Right now, Sydney will be taking on Ogallala in this game number 2. Then, kind of like a rivalry. Well, it is a rivalry match, but an even more rivalry match as it's head coach Shelly Burns face-off against her former squad, Ogallala. Again, North Platte and Ogallala. The second game, that's going to be around 7 o'clock. I know, it's right around the tip-off of the Husker game. I'm sorry, but we all know what's more important here, and that, of course, is the North Platte game. Sorry, I hate to be that guy, but the North Platte game more important, so tune in to that one. Again, 7 o'clock is when that will begin. I think head coach Shelly Byrne might be coming out here to have a word with me. We're going to step aside, though, and take a break. Quick Stop post-game show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. We come back. Head coach Shelly Burns might be here with us. If not, she'll be at the conclusion of game number 2. You'll see us here in a couple seconds. FM 98.1 and 1410. And, of course, video live streaming sponsored by Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com.
Start your day with gourmet coffee with Quick Stop's 100% Arabica house blend and Quick Stop's Seattle Buzz coffees. Quick Stop Rewards offering exclusive discounts and fuel rollbacks. Savings up to 15 cents per gallon with Sinclair Dino Pay using your debit or credit card. Quick Stop can refresh with Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Or customize your favorite fountain drink with flavor shots and everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Always up and right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Can you feel it? The feeling of starting something new. The feeling of success. At Mid-Plains Community College, our instructors are ready and willing to support you on every step of your educational journey. Whether you're just starting out or changing careers, MPCC can help you transform your future. Learn more by visiting our website at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu.
Get the results you need with Red Willow Chemical. Whether you're looking for generic or name brand chemicals and fertilizer, they got you covered. And with their bulk options and delivery and aerial application services, you can save time and get the job done right. Their experienced staff is here to help you tailor a plan that fits your specific needs so you can trust them to deliver. Don't wait. Visit Red Willow Chemical today and see the difference quality products and personalized service can make. Contact them now.
Growing relationships one crop at a time. Red Willow Chemical.
It's football and volleyball season, and it's time to enjoy it while eating the best pizza and wings at Dave's Place.
Dave's Place is your fall sports headquarters with the biggest games on the TVs, the freshest pizza, and all new drink specials, including, you guessed it, the
Dave's Place on East 4th Street in North Platte.
Dine in, carry out, DoorDash, or online at davesplacemp.com. Beginning September 10th, Dave's Place will open Sundays at 11 o'clock.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse. Bulldogs fall in set number 1, 2-0, 25-17 in set number 1, and then 25-20 in set number 2. We'll step in, though, to our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the Game when Money Matters. Talk to Marshall Doty, Mark Tillman, and Jacob White, financial advisors with CIO Wealth Strategies, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial, LLC. In that set number 1, I believe really the person that I would say came away best, but really showed some great energy was Lexi Lancis. I believe she was our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the Game. Well, I actually hold that thought as here comes head coach Shelly Bernhoff, if you remember. She can take that right-hand turn. Nope, she's going to walk on by. I'm going to stare at her. I'm going to look at her. And there she goes. But it'll be Lexi Landis, who is our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the Game recipient in game number 1. She had a really great defensive stint in set number 1 that really helped facilitate the Bulldogs get off to a great start. And then with her attacks, really showed, even though she's young, she's, again, a sophomore here for this North Platte program, she was able to show kind of some upper-level thinking that you might see from an experienced senior on a squad, where she's able to dissect the defense and find some real soft spots and exploit it. She was able to do that many times, and not just set number 1, but set number 2, that allowed her to not only help North Platte pick up the lead at some point, but at least stay competitive even when they were down, or at least stay in it. But she is our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the Game number 1 in this 2-game series between North Platte and the Ogallala next at 7 o'clock. When Money Matters, talk to Marshall Doty, Mark Tillman, and Jacob White, financial advisors with CIO Wealth Strategies, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, in North Platte, Nebraska, about professional financial services. Ameriprise Financial Services, member FINRA and SIPC. North Platte will be taking on Ogallala in game number 2. That will be at the conclusion of this game number 1 between Ogallala and Sydney. Officially game number 2 for Sydney here. Again, if you're tuning in via the stream, thank you so much. Our stream is brought to you in part by Allo Communications. Thank you to Allo Communications. They are our premier video sponsor. We will step aside and take a break here in the Doghouse. When we come back, Bulldogs will be taking on Ogallala in game number 2, looking to split the North Platte Triangular here at FM 98.1 and 1410, a video live streaming sponsored by, of course, Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time.
high school sports on your home of the Dogs, KOOQ FM 98.1 and AM 1410. Today's game brought to you in part by Sandhills State Bank, member FDIC. Dave's Place on East 4th and North Platte, CT Troubleshooters, the Shelter Insurance Boys, Premier Toyota, and Another Round Sports Bar and Grill at River's Edge Golf Course. Today's game also brought to you in part by Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy and Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment, Bill Summers Ford, Honda, Lincoln, Nissan, the D&N Event Center, Larry's RV, Mid-Plains Community College, and Larry's Glass. And watch today's game live via your smart device or smart TV, brought to you by Allo Fiber. Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome back here, everybody, to the Doghouse. Bulldogs fell, unfortunately, in the first game of this triangular against Sydney and Ogallala. They fell in game number 1 to Sydney. 25-17 in the first set, and then 25-20 in the second set. It was... I think it was very encouraging. I think it was a positive outcome, and even though in the loss, you may sit there and be like, well, Paxton, how can something be a positive outcome in a loss? I think overall the team, while still needing to focus on a couple of things defensively, I thought overall played very, very well in the 2 sets against Sydney. Sydney was just able to really pick it up in the latter portions of the set. The first part of the set was looking good for the Bulldogs. They got out to early leads. They were looking kind of commanding. Really good from the service line, not really taking any wrong steps forward in the service line. It was really along the defensive side of the volleyball court where they left a couple, head coach Shelley Byrne would say, a little too many holes in the defensive side of the court that allowed for some easy points for Sydney and the Red Raiders, and they just took advantage of those easy points and went the rest of the way to pick up the victory. It's the Quick Stop pregame show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner. Bulldogs now officially 2-2 on the season following the loss to Sydney. Ogallala, the opponent they'll be facing today, 3-0. They took down Chase County in a perfect 3-0 set in the very first game of the season. They did defeat Hershey 3-2 in the next game of their series, and they're now taking down the side of Sydney 2-0 in the games here earlier. So the Bulldogs looking to play spoiler to give Ogallala their first loss of the season and a really I won't say exact revenge, but kind of give head coach Shelley Byrne a one-up on her old program. You know, it's always fun to see old coaches that come to new programs face off against their old opponents. When we step aside and take a break, we'll come back. We will have your starting lineups brought to you in part by Double Dips Ice Creamery here from the Doghouse, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the Dino Pay app. Dino Pay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings. The Sinclair Dino Pay saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
Quick Stop. After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask me, Matthew Musselman, about Shelter Life Insurance coverage options.
Get the results you need with Red Willow Chemical. Whether you're looking for generic or name brand chemicals and fertilizer, they got you covered. And with their bulk options and delivery and aerial application services, you can save time and get the job done right. Their experienced staff is here to help you tailor a plan that fits your specific needs so you can trust them to deliver. Don't wait. Visit Red Willow Chemical today and see the difference quality products and personalized service can make. Contact them now.
Growing relationships one crop at a time. Red Willow Chemical.
I'm Jared Remus with Jerry Remus Chevrolet of North Platte. The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM, KOOQ AM, North Platte. We've got the keys to your new car.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Welcome back here to the Dog House. North Platte High School taking on Ogallala in game number 2 of this triangular. The score, if you're interested, the Husker score, as somebody so kindly has it pulled up on their MacBook right in front of me, is currently 0-0, I believe, still in the first quarter. About maybe 8 minutes left to go, if you're interested, but that's not the important part here, as North Platte High School is going to be taking on Ogallala and the Indians here in game number 2 of the triangular. The North Platte triangular Bulldogs fell 25-17 and then 25-20 in game number 1 against Sydney, where they'll be taking on, well, first off, got to find my pen. Well, they'll be taking on in game number 2, it'll be Ogallala and the Indians in their starting lineup. Here for the side of Ogallala, getting the start, Emily Van Borkum, alongside Hayden Shaw, as well as Eden Tuttle, Marley Irvin, Ainsley O'Neill, Mallory Murphy, Addison Puddle, and then Sadie Flansburgh. And then aside, of course, North Platte High School, Lexi Lantis, J.C. Burke, Abbott Comense, Kiala Williams, Grace Ryland, Trinity Mack, and Corey McLean. We're going to get underway here with a great serve from Trinity Mack. And now Ogallala will set up for an attack up front from Lainey Caskey. No good. And now here comes the Bulldogs. Idle tap from Lexi Lantis, though. Not good. Whoops, daisies. Not good on that attack. So with that, it's 1-0 in favor of Ogallala. Now take over to serve with Lainey Caskey. Again, Ogallala 3-0 on the season. Bulldogs 2-2 now. Caskey with a nice serve. Back it goes to Kamensky. Back. Now Kamensky from the very far back line has to hit it across, and now set up by Van Borkum. The set. Attack from the middle. No good. Grace Ryland there to stop it. And the Bulldogs will now attack. Kamensky on the far side. Oh, back to Caskey. And now Ogallala will retry once again. Roll spike on the side of Mallory Murphy, excuse me. Oh, and it just falls into the netting. Bulldogs tried to set something up. It's a backline set, I believe, from J.C. Burke, and unfortunately it fell the way of Ogallala. Again, thank you to our sponsor for our starting laps, Double Dips Ice Creamery. Double Dips Ice Creamery in the historic Canteen District in North Platte has 24 plus different flavors of hand-dipped ice cream served in a variety of ways. Double Dips also offers homemade waffle cones and bowls alongside homemade fudge and freshly baked desserts. Check out, again, of course, Double Dips Ice Creamery for their outdoor trailer for any outdoor event. As it's currently 2-0 in favor of the Indians that skied out the bank on the side of Alex Irvin. And with that, a point goes the way of the Bulldogs. They'll now take on over with Lexi Lantis up to serve. Again, one of the lone sophomores here in the program. J.C. Burke, the lone freshman. So Bulldogs, quite a young squad compared to Ogallala. It has a good handful of seniors, but also some youth in the talent pool. As Lantis going to have that one spike back into Ogallala territory. Good save from Grace Ryland. But the Indians will now set back up again and an attack up front. And it's going to fall in, that one on the side, I believe, of Mallory Murphy. Will get the point there. And with that, it's 3-1 in favor of the Indians, with Lexi Lantis checking out and Callie McCain checking in, and also checking in for Ogallala. Going to be Hayden Shaw. Thank you to our sponsors for today's game. Our premier video sponsor, Allo Communications. You can check out Allo Communications and all their latest Allo Fiber, Allo Phone, Allo Video, Allo Internet, Allo Phone, and Allo and Fiber Internet, and Fiber TV, Fiber Phone. Sorry, I said Allo. Too much Allo on my mind here today. So go check out Allo Communications at allofiber.com for all their latest fiber offerings. And that's going to be running to the net on the side of the Bulldogs. And with that, it's 4-1 in favor of Ogallala. Again, another strong team the Bulldogs will be facing here today in this triangular. They took on Sydney, a very strong team in their own right. And then now taking on Ogallala and the Indians here. Ryland will receive it in the back line. The set by back to the near side attack from Burke, but easily defended by the Indians. Far side tip in, but Trinity Mack going to be there to save it. Good defense by the Bulldogs. Now it's Burke's time to tip it in. No good. Indians once again, backline attack coming in on the side of Marley Irvin, and she finds the mark. 5-1 in favor of Ogallala. Back up to serve being Hayden Shaw. Shaw with another good serve to the backside. It goes. McLean. Now Trinity back to Burke. Gets back to Lainey Caskey, and now here comes Ogallala. Near side attack, winding up and off of the arm of one. Callie McLean to the Bulldogs. Can they get it over? They will with J.C. Burke, and it just barely falls out. Another point towards the side of Ogallala and the Indians here. Leading in this one, 6-1. Well, a substitution for North Platte as Kaylee O'Brien now comes in. Subbing out goes J.C. Burke, and once again another serve from Hayden Shaw. Back it goes all the way to McLean. Now, your side attack from Corey McLean, blocked up front. She sets it, and now O'Brien with a nice little tap over. No good, 6-1 lead for the Indians. They'll attack again. Irvin up front, it bounces off of the arms of one Corey McLean. And with that, as well as Abby Kamensky, and with that, a point towards North Platte. It is 6-2. Still in favor of Ogallala, with Corey McLean now up to serve for North Platte. McLean lets it fly to the back line. Good pickup on the side, though, by Van Borkum. Big up front attack. No good. That's going to be blocked. Oh, we're going to say a net violation from Kiala Williams. So Williams will pick up the net foul, and with that, it's 7-2 in favor of Ogallala. Now back to Kamensky. The set from Trinity back into Williams. She just taps it over. Oh, good save up front. That one from Irvin. Now Vac sets backside to Kamensky, who just has to roll spike, and not a really good set from Trinity Vac that time around. And the Indians will attack. Oh, light tip over from Irvin, but Bulldogs there to defend it. Williams up front. Oh, good save from Lainey Caskey, the freshman, in the back line. And, oh, off the arm of Callie McLean. Another good attack coming in from Marley Irvin. And she'll get the point for Ogallala. It's 8-2. Of course, if you've heard the name Caskey before, it's sister to Harry Caskey. If you remember Caskey, one of the star basketball players, as well as football player, possibly being committed to a D1 school, as that one into the net from Trinity back. It's 9-2. Bulldogs off to a rough start here in set number one against Ogallala. It's all Indians here at the moment, 9-2. Serve coming in from the back line of Alex Irvin. Set Williams close up, and she threads the needle between two Indians, Marley Irvin as well as Alex Irvin. And with that, a point going the way of North Platte. They now trail by 6, 9-3 is checking in for the first time. Comes Eden Tuttle with Abby Kamensky now serving for North Platte. Kamensky gets it back to Caskey. The set up in the middle to another attack, and it's just going to find its way in to the freshly subbed in Eden Tuttle. She'll find the point. It's 10-3 now in favor of the Indians. As a substitution will come in, Kaylee O'Brien will step out, and now in comes J.C. Burke. For North Platte, with up to serve once again, Tuttle. Nice, comfortable 7-point lead, 10-3. Oh, bad set from Callie McClay, but there's Grace Riley to save it, and Williams gets it on over for North Platte, and Ogallala will set up to Caskey's attack in the middle, and it flies way out of bounds. Good point for North Platte there, 10-4, looking to turn the tide as Callie McClay checks out, and Lexi Lancis will check in. And now up to serve J.C. Burke for North Platte, trailing by 6, 10-4. Burke from the back line gets it back into Tuttle. The set to the near side attack from Irvin, and it's in from Marley Irvin. Skirts it past two North Platte players, and just like that, it's 11-4 in favor of Ogallala, with now checking back in Mallory Murphy for Hayden Shaw. 11-4 is the lead for for Ogallala and the Indians, almost the ace. The side of Irvin. Williams, though, is able to find the soft spot right in front of Marley Irvin, and with that, good kill from North Platte, and now they'll take over trailing 11-5. With Williams now up to serve and trailing by 6, 11-5. Really strong serve to the backslide, picked up by Shaw. Far side attack. Oh, it just barely finds the mark. Just in front of J.C. Burke and a little bit behind Addison Ewing on the attack. Mallory Murphy for for Ogallala, with Emily Van Borkum now up to serve for the Indians, leading 12-5. Van Borkum serve back to Ryland. The set from Kamensky, backline attack has to come in from Corey McLean, not good, so here comes Ogallala with a free chance. Caskey up the middle, it's out of bounds. A little bit of luck on the side of North Platte as they've got a couple of instances, and Ogallala skied one out the back has allowed the Bulldogs to maybe find some momentum, trailing 12-6, with Trinity Vac now up to serve. Again, Vac, the leading ace scorer for the Bulldogs last season at 48. 37 of those went to Abby Kamensky, so really when the Bulldogs and Trinity Vac get on a roll from the service line, that one's once more skied out the back. That time from Alex Irvin, it's 12-7, but when the Bulldogs behind Trinity Vac and Abby Kamensky from the service line get on a roll, they start to really pick the momentum up. Back to Van Borkum it goes. The set, near side attack from Caskey. Oh, it just barely finds the inside corner and stays in. And with that, a point's going to go the way of Ogallala. I mean, we're talking very, very minuscule amounts of inches that Lainey Caskey was able to scoot that ball in, and because of that, it's a point for the Indians. Wow, what a great run in from Vac, and then even better save from J.C. Burke to get it on over. It was almost a disastrous offensive attempt from the Bulldogs. It's blocked up front. Lexi Lantis stuffing it in front from the attack of Alex Irvin. It's another point towards North Platte, that time getting it done with some great defense, 13-8, with Lantis now serving for the Bulldogs. Finally starting to get back into this game inch by inch. Great little tap. That's going to just barely sneak in. Wow, what a play from Marley Irvin. She just tapped it, and it looked like it was going to spin in fair. Or, excuse me, spin out of bounds. But, oh, after some consideration and talk between both officials, the point will go the way of North Platte. So now it's 13-8 in favor, 13-9 in favor of the Indians, with Lantis once again serving. Good strong one, gets to the back line. To Murphy, the set. Now Murphy will attack, and a good save from Lantis. The Bulldogs now set it up. As attack from Kamensky, just has to push it on over. Caskey to Irvin, front tack, and it's just going to fall off the arms. Corey McLean, the attack from Tuttle, from Eden Tuttle, bounces off of McLean's arms. And with that, it falls straight down to the floor, and the point towards Ogallala, 14-9. Is the lead, with up to serve now being Hayden Shaw, who has subbed in. Well, I'm going to say 15-9 now. Well, they've charged 14. So back it goes to Ryland, and now the Bulldogs will set up offensively in the middle. Attack from Abby Kamensky. Not much mustard behind that attack. How about one from Alex Irvin, and it is out of play. 14-10, the Bulldogs, again, inch by inch, clawing their way back into this game as out goes Grace Ryland. Calla Williams now subs in as Corey McLean with a serve back to Caskey. The set up front from Shaw, tipped in from Marley Irvin, and finds an ocean-sized hole in the Bulldog defense for a free Indian point. As now checking in, Aniston O'Neill, as well as Peyton Johoric. Now Johoric up to serve for the Indians. Nice strong one, gets back to Burke. The set. Williams from the near side. Light little tap. Now Ogallala will set up Shaw to the near side to O'Neill. She couldn't get much behind it, so the Bulldogs will try some other action. Burke gets it tipped up front. Good save from Caskey. Far side attack from Marley Irvin. Bounces off of one Bulldog. And then Callie McLean couldn't get there in time defensively off of the ricochet, and it's 16-10 in favor of the Indians here in set number one. In the second game between these two teams. Johoric with another good serve. Back it goes to Burke. Ryland has to save it. The Bulldogs just have to get it on over. Burke does from the back line, and Ogallala now with a free offensive attack in the middle. Ooh, great save from Trinity Vac. But it ultimately couldn't result in a Bulldog offensive play and falls out of bounds. It's 17-10 now in favor of the Indians. Johoric still up to bat. Peyton Johoric still up to serve, might I add. Back it goes to McLean. Back to Williams. Williams has it then touched up by Shaw. Ogallala just has to get it on over, and they're able to do so. And now, what can the Bulldogs do offensively? How about Burke from the near side? Just barely falls out of play on that attack. Who had to get out of the way was Trinity back of that attack. And with that, it's now 18-0 in favor of Ogallala in set number one between these two teams. Another serve from Peyton Johoric. Back to Callie McLean. Back with a set in the middle to the backside. Kamensky, and just barely finds the mark. Very in the back line. I mean, just barely. That back judge says it sneaks in, and with that, a point towards North Platte. It's 18-11 now with Abby Kamensky serving for the Bulldogs, and checking back in, Emily Van Borkum. Kamensky back to Van Borkum it goes. The set from Shaw to the attack from Marley Irvin, but really lighthearted, so Bulldogs will now have an attack with Burke, who tips it, but a block up front from the Indians. Right bounded back in, and there is Kiala Williams. An ocean-sized hole that time for the Indians defensively on the rotation, and North Platte picks up another point. It's 18-12 now. Still in favor of Ogallala, but the Bulldogs trying to sneak their way back in. Kamensky with the serve. Set by Shaw to the middle, attack from Irvin, blocked up front by Williams, and it's just going to sneak right in between Williams and the net. A point for Ogallala. Marley Irvin with the muscle just powered it in between Williams and the net and gets the point for Ogallala. 19-12. Serve on the side from Tuttle. Back it goes to McLean. The set, here's Kamensky far side. Wow, she's going to sky that one way out the back. Correction, that was J.C. Burke who was going for the attack on the far side. Had great velocity on it, but lifted it too high. It's 20-12 now with another serve from Tuttle. Her second here. Ryland picks it up. Euling to an attack from Williams from the middle, who just taps it over, and now Ogallala will set up. Van Borkum, far side Marley Irvin, and she just powers it right down in front of Callie McLean. She was in position, but it was put just so low she had to fly to get down low. Fortunately, couldn't do so in time, and with that, another point towards the Indians. 21-12 here in set number one between these two teams. In game number two, Bulldogs fell in game number one to Sydney 2-0. Looking to avoid the sweep here, the North Platte triangular. McLean out of back, up top for Williams, in the middle, she gets it, spikes it right in the face of Hayden Shaw, and gets the point to fall, and with that, it's 21-13. Now, favor of Ogallala and the Indians. As Lexi Lantis checks in, as well as Callie O'Brien. So now, O'Brien gets to go ahead, and she'll serve it again, trailing 21-13 in set one. Back it goes to Irvin. Shaw, back to Marley Irvin, who just pows it on over. Kamensky, back to Euling on the far side. Good save from Van Borkum. Shaw, and then just get it over Marley Irvin, but she gets it up into her own netting. Point towards the Bulldogs. 21-14, O'Brien will have her second serve. It's all about the baby steps here to get back into this game. Trailing 21-14, O'Brien, another great serve. Back it goes to Tuttle, and Shaw's able to save it, but Ogallala can't get it on over. Great effort from Hayden Shaw after a not good set, and with that, it's 21-15 now in favor of the Indians. O'Brien's third serve on the way. That one, though, going to go right into the net. It's 22-15. Two good serves, then unfortunately that one right there is now checking in. Mallory Murphy for the Indians. 22-15. There's a serve from Marley Irvin. Oh, can the Bulldogs get it over the line? They're not going to call for it. And though it won't matter either which way, the point will still fall in favor of Ogallala. Couldn't the post, the contempt of, or the discussion of that play was around of, did the Bulldogs get it over the post? Was it out of bounds? Some fans of Ogallala say it was out of bounds, but ultimately it was a point towards the Indians, so they lead 23-15. Irvin set in the middle. Caskey with the tap. Ooh, great diving save from Kamensky, and now the Bulldogs will set up to Lexi Lantis, but she just barely gets it over, and now another attack from the side of Ogallala. Good power from one Mallory Murphy. Another great save from Marley Irvin, but the Indians have to just get it over. And now here comes North Platte. Can they set something up? Euling on the far side has a block right off the front of Mallory Murphy's hands, in and out of bounds. And with that, a point towards North Platte. It is 23-16. Still in favor of Ogallala, but the Bulldogs still keeping it interesting. Kiala Williams up to serve. Lets it go, a nice soft one, saved up front by Caskey. Caskey then has to reposition and tap it, but great block for the Bulldogs up front. Ooh, even better positioning from them on the bounce back, but Lainey Caskey, the freshman, able to power it down. Bulldogs left too big of an opening, and with that, match point for Ogallala, 24-16, with Emily Van Borkum now serving for the Indians, leading 24-16. Van Borkum waiting for the official, but we're going to have a substitution as Alex Irvin checks in for the Indians. Van Borkum fires away, leading 24-16. Euling, Vac, middle attack from Lantis. Oh! They're going to say it touches Van Borkum on its way out of bounds, and with that, a point towards the Bulldogs. 24-17 is the lead, with Trinity Vac now up to serve as Addison Euling subs out. 24-17, so still match point for Ogallala, but Bulldogs keeping it interesting. Vac, oh, I say that, and she hits it right into the netting, and that is how this set number one will come to an end. A 25-17 victory for the Indians in set number one. We're going to make our way now on to set number two here. FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, video live streaming sponsored by Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com. It's 1-0 in favor of Ogallala and the Indians. We come back here to the Doghouse.
It's football and volleyball season, and it's time to enjoy it while eating the best pizza and wings at Dave's Place.
Dave's Place is your fall sports headquarters with the biggest games on the TVs, the freshest pizza, and all new drink specials, including, you guessed it, the whoop whoop
Dave's Place on East 4th Street in North Platte.
Dine in, carry out, DoorDash, or online at davesplacenp.com. Beginning September 10th, Dave's Place will open Sundays at 11 o'clock. Whoop whoop!
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
If you'd like to start feeling better today, physical therapy can get your health back on track. This is Dr. Chris Kroll at Kroll Clinic Physical Therapy, and our mission is to serve you by equipping you with the power to reclaim your health. Whether you're dealing with chronic pain, acute injury, or following surgery, we take great pride in helping you return to the activities you love. Kroll Clinic Physical Therapy, balancing bodies, restoring life. Most insurance is accepted and no facility fees.
Hey, looking to start a new career? Larry's Glass in North Platte may just have the position for you, as they have an opening for a glazer. What does this glass glazer do? Installs glass in commercial and residential areas, and you'll be installing windows, doors, showers, mirrors, and so much more dealing with glass. If you've been or had carpenter experience in the past, this position may be just the fit for you. And even if you haven't and you have a certain skill set, Larry's Glass will train. Stop into Larry's Glass on West 5th Street today to apply.
North Platte Post Sports.
Going back here to the Doghouse, Bulldogs fall in set number one, 25-17 to Ogallala. And the Indians are timeouts, of course, brought to you in part by Kevin McGann in the Fortifying Room. You can check out Kevin McGann in the Fortifying Room, his new location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as our sponsor, CT Computer Services. Your IT guy since 2005 as Corey McLean almost got a point there for the Bulldogs off a really great attack, but couldn't fall through as just Lexi Lantis has to push it on over, and now the Indians will set up. Far side attack! It just barely will fall in as it was tipped off a Bulldog. Mallory Murphy picks up the first point of this set for Ogallala, with Van Borkum still serving. And 1-0 Ogallala. Again, they 1-0 in this game and 1-0 in terms of set totals. That goes to O'Brien. It just bounces too far away from Corey McLean as she was trying to run up and set it, because that's 2-0 for the Indians' lead. Here in this set number two, Van Borkum's third serve for Ogallala on the way. Back to Ryland. The set from Kamensky, and now Corey McLean pushes on over. Oh, good tip from Marley Irvin, and now it's just roll spiked on over by the Indians. Back now up top to Corey McLean, who pushes on over. Now both sides not getting really clean looks. I say that. Great spike up front for the block. Corey McLean makes up for it. After a poor offensive possession, she makes up for it on the defensive side, stuffing Mallory Murphy up front, and it's now a 1-point lead for Ogallala, 2-1 with Trinity back up to serve. Back to Van Borkum. Set from Irvin to the far side to Murphy. Another block up front by McLean, and she gets another point following the stuff. Back-to-back stuffs up front from Corey McLean. And the Bulldogs in business, tied 2-2 here. Off some good defensive plays. As Caskey has a set by Irvin. Caskey winds up, and it's blocked up by Lexi Lantis. It tips off her fingers up front, and with that, an Indian point, 3-2 for Lainey Caskey to go serve. 3-2 Ogallala. Caskey, strong serve from the back, gets to Evan Kamensky. Backside set to Lantis, rolls it in, but Van Borkum's there to stop it. Irvin, attack up front that time from Alex Irvin. Sisters getting together, but not resulting in a point. Another set, that time to the middle to Tuttle. Another block up front by 3 Bulldogs, and here comes Ogallala again with the tip, but that's Trinity back there to save it. Going McLean again, blocked up front. And now here comes the Bulldogs yet again for Lantis. Oh, great save from Van Borkum. Can the Indians get it over? Oh, they do, and now the Bulldogs trying to execute and find the weakness. Oh, Lexi Lantis too far away from the net, tried to spike it, and it just rolls into the net. It's 4-2 after an intense back and forth action. It falls in favor of Ogallala. They lead 4-2 as Caskey serve once again gets to the side of Kamensky. Kamensky now attacks, and it's tipped off of one, Emily Van Borkum, and with that, now back to a 1-point lead for the Indians with a new substitution coming in for North Platte here today. Sienna Mitchell, the junior, getting action. She was over on the JV court in between sets 1 and 2, and now here she comes in to get some action on the varsity squad. Lantis' serve just falls right in front of Caskey, but she's able to save it. As well, Marley Irwin has to hit it on over. Vac set to the middle from McLean. It's bounced off of Caskey. A point toward the Dogs. We're tied up 4-4 here in set number 2 between these two teams, with Lexi Lantis back up to serve. Ogallala took set number 1, 25-17, but here in set number 2, the Bulldogs keeping it nice and close early on. Lantis' serve, unfortunately, finds itself into the netting. 5-4 with up to serve being Hayden Shaw now for the Indians, and checking out goes Mallory Murphy. So Shaw with her first serve of set number 2. Back to Mitchell. A set from Vac to the backside. McLean just pushes on over. Now Ogallala has to set it up. Backside. Marley Irvin able to smack it in, but no good. Mitchell's turn to try, but Van Borkum's there to save it. Now Ogallala sets up inside from Alex Irvin. It flies out the back. And we're tied once again, 5-5 between these two teams in set 2. And now Kiala Williams checks in for Grace Ryland, and Corey McLean now serves for North Platte. McLean. Back it goes to Lainey Caskey. Shaw set far side. Irvin. It's tipped. It's saved by Williams. And now it's Sienna Mitchell has to tip it. There's Lainey Caskey, and another offensive attempt from the side of the Indians. Not too much efficiency on that one. So Kamensky on the far side gets the point. And now North Platte takes the lead for the first time here in this set. 6-5. Looking really good in set number 2. Really picking up better and really limiting the defensive lapses that they had as Alex Irvin hits it on over to Corey McLean. Vac sets near side. Mitchell has to tip it in. There's Hayden Shaw. Oh, great 2-hit attack. But the Bulldogs were ready. Williams tips it, and there's Alex Irwin back on over to Marley Irvin, but Trinity Vac with the good defense. Mitchell taps it, and oh my good heavens. Oh, it's going to fall, not for an Ogallala point. Another great defensive save from North Platte. Tuttle's attack, will just find the mark. Beautiful defensive back and forth between these two teams results in an Eden Tuttle point. As now checking in comes Aniston O'Neill and Peyton Jahorg for the side of Ogallala, and we're tied 6 apiece here. What great back and forth action. we're seeing between these two teams already here in set number 2. Set number 1 went the way of Ogallala, 25-17, but North Platte did not take that loss. Laying down, and they're looking to battle back here and pick up the victory. Williams near side, blocked up front, but Irvin saves it. And now Marley Irwin can't get it to go, and now here comes North Platte. Sienna Mitchell near side attack, will find it in front of Lainey Caskey. There was an opening on the near side, and Sienna Mitchell was able to find it and convert on the point as Trinity Vac subs out and Addison Euling subs in. It is 7-6 in favor of North Platte with Abby Kamensky serving. Again, second on the team last year in terms of aces with 37. Back to Van Borkum. Shaw set towards the near side. Tuttle blocked up front by Williams. She'll hit it again. Ryland and Mitchell tips it. Oh, but there is Tuttle to save it. Now the Indians will set up for Marley Irvin, and good save from Kamensky to Ryland. Now Williams just has to tap it over. Now what can Ogallala do? Tuttle with the tip back on over by Williams. Tipped right back over then by Tuttle. Another tip by Williams. They're both trying to see if anyone's off guard. No good. Proper, though, attack and set up from the Indians. Another great save. Williams that time gets the putback. 8-6. There was a little bit of back and forth of one hits, and then Kiala Williams comes in and finds the soft spot in the defense for a Bulldog point. 8-6 with another serve from Abby Kamensky on the way. Back it goes to Caskey. Shaw sets it to the middle from Irvin. Oh, another great save by Abby Kamensky to now Grace Ryland. Can Mitchell tip it? She does, but there's Lainey Caskey to save it. Marley Irvin, though, got set up on the far side and laid in a power bomb in front of Callie McLean. And it's 8-7 in favor of the Bulldogs with Tuttle now up to serve. Tuttle's first one. We'll go back to Grace Ryland. Set from Kamensky to Williams in the middle. Oh, great save by Van Borkum. And then Erwin gets it over. Wow, what a great defensive play on the side of Ogallala. But then Ryland and Kamensky run into each other. Ryland looked like she called for it, but Kamensky comes running on in, and they both collide, and a free point goes the way of the Indians, so we're tied 8-8 here. Tuttle gets it into Euling. Kamensky with the set. Williams in the middle. She spikes it in and finds it. Bouncing off of Caskey's arm, and another point toward the Dogs. It's 9-8. Our game brought to you in part by Sandhill State Bank. Most committed brand of banking with locations in North Platte, Ogallala, Grant, and many more. Head to sandhillstate.com for a full list of services and locations. Mitchell with the serve gets it over. Caskey on the far side, tipped up front by Williams. It falls in for another Bulldog point. 10-8. With a second serve from Mitchell now on the way. Bulldogs look like a whole new team here in this second set. Oh, and then unfortunately Mitchell serves one into the netting, and it's 10-9. And Kaylee O'Brien now subbing in for Mitchell, but great stint from Sienna Mitchell, who came in between sets 1 and 2 and has played some very good ball here as out goes Hayden Shaw. Mallory Irvin with the serve. Set by Kamensky to Williams on the backside. She tips it, but Lainey Caskey there to save it. Irvin, far side from Mallory Murphy, but now here comes the side of North Platte for Lexi Lantis. Van Borkum saves it. Another good setup from the Indians. Didn't find anything behind it as Euling roll spikes it, and Van Borkum's there to stop it. And the attack from from Caskey in the middle will just find the mark as Abby Kamensky went diving forward, and we're back tying 10 apiece. Neither side really gaining an everlasting impression or advantage in this game. Everyone is bouncing back and forth. And with that, another serve for Marley Irvin. Gets it back to O'Brien. Kamensky with the set towards the near side. Lantis, it bounces off of Tuttle. A point for the Bulldogs. There's Lexi Lantis on the attack, and here comes Kiala Williams and Corey McLean subbing in. For Grace Ryland, it's 11-10, Bulldog lead just by 1. It's only been like a 1 or 2 point margin between either side. Here in this second set, again, Ogallala took set number 1, 25-17, but North Platte is sticking with them here in this second set. Again, Ogallala undefeated, Bulldogs 2-2 on the year. Ogallala 3-0. Irwin set middle. Caskey's going to fire it back. Williams with a great save, and it just cannot be saved by her second time from Abby Kamensky. And just like that, Ogallala ties it back up 11-11 as Williams checks out and Ryland checks in. Emily Van Borkum now serving with outcoming Aniston O'Neill. And then also checking out was Peyton Jahorik, and checking in Alex Irvin. So Van Borkum now serving for Ogallala. Tied 11-11. It's going to fall foul out of bounds. It's now 12-11 North Platte, and Trinity Vack checks in for Addison Euling. And Vack will now be up to serve. Thank you to our sponsors, Dave's Place Pizza and Wings. Of course, you can find out more 1510 East 4th Street here in North Platte. Vack, great serve back to Van Borkum. The set from Irvin now to Caskey on the near side. Just has to lightly tap it over, and now here comes North Platte. Lexi Lantis top to front. Good defense from Ogallala. Another opportunity, far side, Kamensky. Oh, but there is Marley Irvin. Now here comes the Indians. Attack from Murphy. Another great defensive stop from North Platte. But Corey McLean has to just tip it on over, and now here comes the Indians. Once again, Caskey from behind. Oh, she sneaks it in between Lexi Lantis and Corey McLean. And yet again, we are tied 12-12 for Lainey Caskey to serve. Really, here in this second set, there's nobody. It's tough to pinpoint who's going to take the win in this one. A good pitch in from the side of McCain. Corey McLean. Now Lantis near side attack. Splits Van Borkum and Caskey. Bulldogs retake the lead once again. And now here comes Sienna Mitchell. In for O'Brien, and Lexi Lantis will now be serving. 13-12, North Platte in the lead. As here comes Lexi Lantis from the back line. It's just going to barely fly out, and we're tied once again. Man, I'm telling you, really can't pinpoint a certain team who's really going to take over, because either side is just sticking with it. As Callie McLean now checks in for Lexi Lantis, and Hayden Shaw now serving for Ogallala. Shaw light serve back to Mitchell. Vack will set it up in the middle towards the far side. Mitchell tips it, and she will, it looks like, run into the netting. So Ogallala will take the lead for the first time in a couple of possessions, 14-13. Mitchell got that full head of steam, looking to come in and lightly tap it, but couldn't stop the momentum and ran into the netting. Shaw, back it goes to Callie McLean. Vack sets it. Here comes Corey McLean, just tips it over, and then immediately tipped back up by Marley Irvin. Now Irvin will have to attack, and she'll find the mark in the backside. I'm telling you, Marley Irvin, when she gets set up and finds an opening in the defense, will just exploit it. Callie McLean was in the back row, but just not far enough to the far side, and Irvin just executed perfectly on the attack, and she'll get the point. So the largest lead for Ogallala in a while. It's 15-13, only 2 points, I know. Mack sets, near side, Mitchell roll spikes it over. Ooh. Shaw has to save it, and now Irvin sets up. Oh, great save from Grace Ryland, but it bounces back over to Ogallala territory. Up top from Tuttle. No good, and now North Platte has to do something with it. Backline attack from Callie McLean, roll spikes it dangerously, but gets it. Now, here comes Alex Irvin, bounces it off of Grace Ryland. The other Irvin sister spiking it hard in the face of Grace Ryland, and it's a point toward the Indians, 16-13. The third serve from Hayden Shaw here in this second set. It's on the way, 16-13 Indian lead. Vack sets it. Mitchell now has to run a little bit in and just pushes it over, and now here comes Ogallala. Set to the near side attack from Tuttle, but it's tipped up front. Great save on the side of Trinity Vack, and Mitchell has to just tap it on over. Caskey, Shaw, the attack up the middle once again from Tuttle. Bounces off the arms of Trinity Vack. Tried to two-hand it, but it sneaks right through. She was kind of bending backwards when she was receiving it, and because of it, it bounced off her and to the wall. It's 17-13, the largest Ogallala lead in this second set. It has been a back-and-forth affair all the way up until the 13th point, and now Ogallala has just poured it on, 17-13 now. Back to McLean. The set from back to the middle. Kamensky is able to power her way to a point. to push the side away, and it's 17-14 with Calla Williams checking in for Grace Ryland. Now what can North Platte do to bounce back? Great attack from Kamensky, showing off the power and the hops, able to sneak it in between Tuttle as Corey McLean bounces it off the netting. And it falls back in Bulldog territory, so it's 18-14. Still in favor of the Indians as Peyton Jahork checks in, as well as Aniston O'Neill for the Indians. For North Platte, Grace Ryland subs in. Jahork fires to the back line. Ryland gets it. The set from Trinity Vac Williams up front. Good save from one. Marley Irvin, but it bounces too far away from the nearest Indian player, and because of that, a point towards North Platte. It's 18-15, and Abby Kamensky now serving as Trinity Vac will go to the bench to relax or take a breather. Addison Euling subs in now. 18-15 as nearest official gets the go-ahead to get rocking and rolling. Still a 1-0 set lead for Ogallala. They won 25-17. As that serve from Kamensky rockets into the net, it's 19-15 now. As 4-point lead for Ogallala. But back to serve, Tuttle. Tuttle fires away again, 4-point lead for the Indians. Kamensky with the set towards the near side. Euling stuffed up front. She tried to hit it back, but couldn't fully get it over the net line, and it falls back into North Platte territory out of bounds. It's 20-15 favor of the Indians. Tuttle, her second serve on the way. Bulldogs need to find that magic they had earlier at the beginning of this set to get back in. Kamensky, far side. Mitchell goes on to the back. Hayden Shaw receives it. Van Borkum, Irwin in the back, and it's going to fly out of bounds. Lucky there because Marley Irvin has just been on fire on that far side when she gets set up. Hit it a little too close to the line, and it hit the line with that. North Platte now gets the point. 20-16 Mitchell's serve, her second of the set. Shaw saves it. Irvin has a roll spiker from the back line, and now here comes North Platte. Oh, it's a miscommunication between Kamensky and Mitchell, as Kamensky, I think, called it as Santa Mitchell was trying to go for it, and because of that, some confusion on who was going to get it, and because of that, the point will fall the way of Ogallala. 21-16 now is the lead, with Marley Irvin now serving. Irvin gets it back to O'Brien. Kamensky sets it to the near side. Lexi Lantis attacked, and they're going to say it wasn't officially touched by an Indian, so that point's going to go the way of Ogallala. 22-16 on 4 hits. And now here comes another serve from Irvin. Back it goes to O'Brien. The set. Euling from the middle. It just sneaks itself in on that back corner. Addison Euling, beautiful attack. Sneaks it just barely into the back corner. And with that, it's 22-17. Here comes Calla Williams. Now going to serve for North Platte. And 22-17. Williams gets it back to Van Borkum. The set for the far side tip from Mallory, and it's going to hit the post, the outside post, and with that, it's 22-18. Williams with her second serve here of the set. Back it goes to Van Borkum. Set from Irvin to Kasky in the middle. She has to run up and tap it. Oh! Callie O'Brien tried to instinctually hit it with her arm as Williams was also behind her, and that point will fall. It will fall. Actually, the ball will fall out of reach of any North Platte player, and the point towards the Indians. It's 23-18 with Emily Van Borkum now serving. Borkum back to Ryland. The set from Kamensky to the far side of Euling's able to keep it in. Now Ogallala with a chance to attack. Murphy sneaks it in. Bounces off of Euling and Corey McLean, and now match point for Ogallala, 24-18. Van Borkum now, again, with the match point serve on the way. Back to O'Brien. Ryland with the hit, and now North Platte just has to hit it over, and McLean does so. Irwin sets it up. Kasky in the middle, tips it. Great save from Addison Euling, so I recognize it. And now North Platte attacks from Lantis. Back to Van Borkum. Set. Far side. Murphy tip. Oh, great save on the side of Kamensky. North Platte, though, might just have to tap it on over. They do so! Great save from Alex Irvin. And now Ogallala roll spikes it with Murphy. Uh-oh, tip battle. Won by North Platte. Corey McLean gets it over, but a clean offensive attack from the Indians, but can't do anything with it. North Platte, now McLean tips it. Oh, great back and forth action right now. The point for Murphy, no good. Oh, no! Instinctually, Lexi Lantis tried to tip it on over with one hand. It rode all along the top of the netting, and then was finally tapped out by Addison Euling. And that point goes the way of the Indians. So North Platte here at home in the North Platte Triangular, their first home game of the year, fall in 2 sets to Sydney, and then here to Ogallala and the Indians. 25-17 in set number 1, and then here in set number 2, 25-18. It's time now for our quick stop post-game show. We come back here to the Doghouse. Bulldogs unfortunately fall in both games. Game 1 against Sydney, 25-17, 25-20, and then here in game number 2, 25-17, and then 25-18. We'll step aside and we take a break. When we come back, we will have our quick stop post-game coverage right here from the Doghouse on FM 98.1 AM 1410, and of course video live streaming sponsored by Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com.
20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
The North Platte Public Schools prepares all students to be productive, responsible citizens in a safe, caring, supporting learning environment with caring staff, engaging curriculum, clean facilities, and updated technology. You can rely on our schools giving your child the tools they need for a successful future. For more information, including enrollment and career opportunities, visit nppsd.org. North Platte Public Schools. Communicate, connect, commit.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
The North Platte Public Schools prepares all students to be productive, responsible citizens in a safe, caring, supporting learning environment with caring staff, engaging curriculum, clean facilities, and updated technology. You can rely on our schools giving your child the tools they need for a successful future. For more information, including enrollment and career opportunities, visit nppsd.org. North Platte Public Schools. Communicate, connect, commit.
It's not too late to dust off the golf clubs and head out to River's Edge Golf Club in North Platte. Summer may be coming to an end, but come out to River's Edge and you'll enjoy a course that features modern amenities with beautifully maintained lush greens and breathtaking views. After your golf game, swing into another round for some amazing food and drinks. Remember, they're open to the public. Good times, great food, drinks, and sports. Another Round Sports Bar at River's Edge Golf Course. Come have another round with them.
Brandon is super pumped about Runza.
Runza is so sweet.
Especially all their desserts.
Oh, those are the sweetest.
Chocolate, vanilla, and twist ice cream cones, 4 flavors of shakes, chocolate chip cookies, and ice cream sandwiches.
Literally sweet.
Aw, I love your enthusiasm.
Well, I love Runza.
So sweet of you. Come satisfy your sweet tooth. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See me, Pete Volz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
I'm Jared Remus with Jerry Remus Chevrolet of North Platte. The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM, KOOQ AM, North Platte. We've got the keys to your new car.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse. Bulldogs unfortunately fall in this game. Well, these two games against, one against Sydney and one against Ogallala. Here comes, for the first time this season, head coach Shelly Byrne will be joining me. I unclipped her microphone, so let's see who the new person is here today. But, Coach, it's funny. We're here in the early season, so you would expect a lot of communications issues, maybe some defensive lapses, but it just really feels like this team's way ahead of schedule in my estimation, and they're almost like one step away from really breaking through in some of these games. And I think that's not only a huge positive coming, again, here for the early teething parts of this season, but only encouraging to know as the games go on.
Yeah, were you listening to my speech in the locker room? Because that's kind of exactly what I said. I told the girls, I said, we have just made so much growth in just even the last 3 weeks. We have been focusing on defense. We've been focusing a lot on defense, trying to get our communication there. We're still lacking. A lot of errors were mental errors, and just the communication and trusting in each other. We're trying to build that trust, and they've come a long way in just a month or so of playing. So we need to work on things. I mean, obviously our weaknesses are getting exposed, and it was our offense today. The other two were running a fast offense, and we were not, and they were blocking us. So, we're going to work on that now, and we're taking it one game at a time, but I'm just so proud of these girls and how hard they're working, and they're buying into what we're doing, and you just see the growth. And those were two good teams. Sydney had, 3 seniors out there? I mean, one is just like a spider monkey. She can jump like no other. But their setter was good, too, who hit in the front row. And then, they've got Ogallala's got Marley, and they got 3 seniors. They just, we have 1 senior, so there's something to be said about a senior-led team. I mean, there just is. And, I'm very proud of our senior. Grace played great tonight. She picked up some balls that I didn't think she was going to get, but she did. I mean, really proud of how she played. I'm proud of all of them.
And that's a good point that you bring up. The difference between a young team like this that has only 1 senior and then a team that has multiple seniors. You can and that's no mark against any team that's young. It's just you can clearly see, the experience gap that has grown, and that only means good things for your team in the future that's running a younger squad, but you're going to expect more of this early season, win maybe 2 games, but then fall into a 3-game stretch, and then maybe pick up another 2.
Let's just hope it's a 2-game stretch. We got those 2.
We'll keep it at 2.
And you're right. There's something to be said about seniors. A senior-led team, you're going to have a sense of urgency. You're going to have just that leadership of kids being on the floor. I have a true freshman out there in all my years of coaching. I can think of 2 girls that I've started as freshmen in all those years. I mean, they might look physically ready, but mentally they're not. And, that showed tonight with our freshman, and she's going to work hard. We're going to keep working because she's got some good things to offer us, but we just got to get in a good headspace, all of our girls. There's just a lot of confidence to be built, and we've got to push. We've just got a hump that we've got to get over, and they've got to believe in themselves. We're kind of digging them out of some years of just not having a lot of confidence, and they're getting it back. They're starting to feel good and surprise themselves with things they're doing.
And you love to hear that. And you talked about the weakness this game, these 2 games being the offense. A lot of up-tempo offense between Sydney and Ogallala. Do you attribute to maybe your guys' slower approach in this game more to, again, not really confident, lack of communication and confidence, because you gotta really be confident and trustworthy to run a faster offense, or is that kind of maybe that was their approach, against what you wanted?
No, we got to worry about ourselves, and we have not been practicing the fast offense. We've been focusing on other stuff, and it's amazing the volleyball knowledge, or the lack of, I guess I could say, that some of these girls just haven't had just don't have, they played and played, but there's just things that they've looked past and they haven't really paid attention to it. And now they are. We're focusing a lot on the little things, and they're realizing how important those little things are.
You know, and you got a nice gap. That's always nice to have. A nice gap here between games. We'll be taking on Gehring next Tuesday, and then, of course, quickly turn it around to a Thursday game against Northwest. You know, what are some of the things you're going to be highlighting? You've talked about a little bit of it here, but what are some of the other things you're going to be highlighting during practice in this time, even during the holiday, to make sure that when your team gets out Tuesday, they're ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, you know, we're still going to, passing and serving are a must. You can ask the girl. I mean, we talk about it, passing and serving. If we get a good pass, we can put our hitters into system. And, you know, serving, that kind of hurt us tonight. I was a little disappointed. We missed a lot of serves at key points, and those are just little things you can control. But, you know, you watched Nebraska last night and their big showdown, and one of their players missed on game point, missed a serve. And I said, see, it happens to everybody. But I felt like it happened to us a lot tonight. But, you know, those are just things we can fix, and it's the mental part of the game again that we got to get some confidence. The girls just got to believe in themselves.
And, again, just to highlight it, a really good spot to be in. A lot of these things that you're pointing out are not, you know, things you can see and be like, man, that's going to be something we got to overcome this season and maybe scheme against.
No.
It's really just small technical things that can just be taught and learned down. And the fact that they're already seeing, again, from the first game against Broken Bow to now here, you're already feeling like it was a whole, I mean, between Broken Bow and Kearney, it felt like it was a whole different team. And then now we've gotten a couple weeks and then a couple games under their belt. And it's like we're starting at a whole new team. Who knows when we get to, you know, October what it's going to be like.
I hope so. We can only go up, and that's what we hope for, to get better. And, you know, the big picture is the end of the season. That's where we want to be playing our best volleyball. And so we got some great kids over there playing on the JV team. There's a lot of talent over there, and so we're hoping. I don't like doing JV varsity triangulars because it has to spread my team too thin. And I don't know if you saw, but we did a quick exchange. We took one starting over there, and we pulled her over to our side. But, you know, those are just things. It's a team effort, and we've got a lot of girls that play important roles on our team.
And, of course, there you go. Brought up the point that I almost escaped through my mind there. Sienna Mitchell coming from the JV side, mid-set over here in set number 2. And that kind of also just helps, is a privy to how well, not just well coached the senior squad is, but also the JV squad, because you can mix and match anybody you want, and they come in. Mitchell had some serious impact in the couple of rotations she only had.
She did, and I don't think the JV coach is very happy with me right now. She kind of gave me a look from across the gym.
Well, it could be only 20 to 8, so, you know, it's still working right now.
I know. But, you know, Sienna came in and did some great things, and that's what I tell the girls. You guys, nobody's spot is guaranteed. Somebody's off one night, we have somebody else that can fill in for them, and that's what I like. We have depth. We have depth and can go to different players.
Love to hear that. Well, Coach, thank you so much for stopping on by. A couple of days before they'll travel on the road next Tuesday after the holiday to Gehring, and they'll be back home against Northwest. Coach, again, thank you so much for stopping.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here.
We'll have more of our Quick Stop post-game show. We come back here, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and, of course, video live streaming, NorthPlattePost.com.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine, too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Find me, Brent Rogo, at 502 East Francis.
Mary is trying the new Philly-style Runza sandwich.
You know, Rocky was set in Philadelphia.
Wonder if he ever had a Philly-style Runza sandwich.
Yo, Adrian, I love these green peppers, onions, steak, and Swiss.
We should go do boxing later.
You haven't seen Rocky, have you?
Not at all. Been too busy eating the new Philly-style Runza sandwich. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back here to the Doghouse. Bulldogs unfortunately go 0-2 today in the North Platte Triangular, falling to Sydney in the first game 25-17, then 25-20, and then falling to Ogallala here in game number 2, 25-17, and then 25-18. It is time, though, for our Ameriprise Financial Money player of the game for game number 2. That is going to go the way as head coach. Well, head coach already kind of spoiled it. Grace Ryland had a fantastic performance, not only in game number 1, but also here specifically in game number 2, making a lot of huge key defensive saves for the North Platte Bulldogs on some plays that I just didn't think were going to be made. Not in that sense, but like you could also be like, man, I didn't think that was going to happen, and it happened. She was there defensively in many key certain situations, specifically in the second set of the second game, where she was able to really keep North Platte not only in certain possession battles, but also being the one to help get them over that hump to pick up that point. So she is our Ameriprise Financial Money Player of the game for game number 2. And Money Matters talked to Marshall Doty, Mark Tillman, and Jacob White, financial advisors with CIO Wealth Strategies, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, in North Platte, Nebraska. Talk to them about your professional financial services. Ameriprise Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA, and SIPC. Well, that'll do it here for me here at the Doghouse for the first games of the season from the Bulldogs volleyball squad. Unfortunately, they're 2-3 on the year now, but a lot of positive things you can take away from this first, not only home game, but another triangular where they just got many games underneath their belt and are ready to just continue onward. They'll have a couple days off before they're in Gehring for a Gehring game. That's on Tuesday, and then they'll be back home on Thursday against Northwest. I believe we will be here for the Northwest game, but on Tuesday you'll see me at the softball game. North Platte, I believe, taking on Hastings in Hastings, I believe, on that Tuesday. But more specifically, you will see me tomorrow at Bauer Field, North Platte High School taking on Scottsbluff. Bulldogs currently 0-2, coming off an extremely tough loss to Grand Island and the Islanders last Friday. And basically the last waning few seconds, they'll look to turn it around like they did last season against Scottsbluff, who is coming into town. That game starts at 7 o'clock with our Quick Stop pregame beginning at 6:30, live here at FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming, sponsored by Allo Communications, NorthPlattePost.com. I will see you all tomorrow. Our final box score, though, here from this North Platte triangular in game number 1 against Sydney. North Platte fell in that one 25-17 and then 25-20, and then in game number 2 fell 25-17 and then 25-18 in that second game against Ogallala. The box score is sponsored by Eeks Office. For copies, furniture, or janitorial supplies, think Eeks. You can visit eeks.com. Excuse me. Woo. I, though, will see you all tomorrow for football action.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great school year. Fall can mean weather changes and canceled practices. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of